Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So today we are going to be building a chair. So this is going to be a basic tutorial on chair building. So yeah, let's get right into this. So we have the default cube here. We're going to be using the default cube today. What we want to do is go into edit mode. And of course, if you guys are still on EV, go with cycles. So with a chair, you want to go G, bring this up. I'm going to split the screen here so you guys can see the wireframe. There we go, and then I'm going to put it on number 1 keypad. So with the chair, you kind of have to use your imagination a little bit with this one. We're going to press A, which will select everything. S to scale along the Z axis. So with this one we're going to do square feet, and then later on I'll teach you how to make some nicer chairs. Maybe we want to scale this just outwards a little bit. So this is going to be the back of the chair right here, the front of the chair right here. I'm going to go Control R just to split the object. I'm going to go Control R again just to split again. Let me see. You know, I'm going to do a wooden chair for this one. Maybe a wooden style. So we're going to go Control R, scale outwards in the middle. So it's kind of got that little ridge thing that the wooden chairs have. Then we're going to make a little pit in the middle because wooden chairs usually get worn out. So just the Control R, scroll on your wheel. And then it'll make 2 vertices, and then we're going to go Control R again, copy this little bit in. Then we're going to go to faces, select these 2 middle faces, and just press G, and just bring them down a little bit so it looks like the chair's been worn. We're then going to go with the Control R again, just around the outside edges. So we've kind of got this little dip in the middle like it's been sat on. We're going to go Control R again and go for the middle of the chair even. So you can see that just there. If I just move that up. I'll just redo that for you guys again. Control R, come up to the top, scale outwards just a little bit to give it a little bit of a bevel on the edge. And then we're going to do the same to the bottom. Control R, S for scale, and then just bring it out a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. So then we're going to do the legs. So first and foremost, I'm going to go with right click and then shade smooth. And then we're going to go and add a mesh cylinder. So you notice that the cylinder is way too big for the seat for the chair. So what we're going to do is scale it upwards, and then we're just going to plane scale it downwards. Now, for a wooden chair, you're going to want a little bit of angle out there. So we're just going to position it where we'd usually put the legs for the chair. You don't want to put it right to the edge, you just want it a little bit on the edge. So that's where it should be. And then make sure that it's inside the objects just slightly. For these ones, we're going to sculpt the actual leg of the chair, and then I'll put the angles on it, and I'll tell you what the angles are for these. So just scale it down a little bit so that it's touching the floor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a mesh plane just there so you can see where the floor is, so you get a rough idea. So the floor on this side will be where the red line is, if you guys can see that. Okie dokie, right, so put that into side perspective. Excuse me, got a bit of a frog in my throat today. Right, so we're going to go into edit mode. Now we're going to use Control R And we're just going to make some little adjustments to these legs, just make them a little bit beveled and stuff. So you want to go to Control R, move it down to wherever you need to, and we're just going to scale inwards. Just ever so slightly. Then we're going to go Control R again. And we're going to go scale inwards. Don't worry if this doesn't look right to you the first time, like, it's a learning curve. You guys are starting to learn this, so this is great. I'm going to go Control R for the middle again and just scale it outwards, so we've kind of got like a little fancy bulge in the middle of the leg. And then we're going to go scale outwards just at the middle of each of these vertices. Now, wooden chairs generally have a very narrow leg to them, at least the ones that I've sat on do. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the base of this, G to bring it upwards. You'll notice that it's quite large at the end. So then we're going to scale this down into a little point. Control R again. And just scale this a little bit outwards. So it kind of has a little bit of bulge at the bottom. So what I want to do, if you guys can see this right here, I want to select these vertices right here. And we're just going to scale those outwards a little bit more. So we've kind of got that little, that point coming upwards. Now you can design your leg chairs any way that you'd like. I personally just want to do them like this. I'm just going to shade this smooth. So now we want to do a rotate. So, if you type in 20, your chair leg's going to rotate like that. If you type in, excuse me, say 10, your leg's going to be rotating out this way. So maybe a 10 would be the best way to rotate these outwards. I'm a little bit lost. 1 second. So yeah, if you're going to want to rotate these legs outwards, just put them in the middle like this. Now what we're going to want to do at this point is we're going to go Shift D, which will duplicate. We'll bring them over to this side, but this leg is not correct, right? So what you want to do is you want to do R for rotate, get it up on the Z axis so that it rotates on the Z axis. And then we're going to go 180, and that will change the degrees. G across. So now we've got two legs. Now to support these two legs, because obviously if this was a real chair, if you had the legs just like that, they just kind of splay. So what you need is a little bit of a bridge in between. So what we're going to do, go to the mesh, get the cylinder, scale it upwards so that it looks like this. Then we're going to scale it down. And what you want to do is make this roughly the same size as the legs. So I'm just going to scale this down again. G to bring this up, and I'm going to rotate. So go against the X axis for rotating. So we're rotating like this, yeah? You want to press 90. This is giving 90-degree angle. Go up with G. Now, because we've got our side view here, we can see what's going on. So we're going to go across with G. Make sure that they line up. Now you notice that we've got a gap here and we have a gap here. So what you want to do with that is press S, scale across, and that's the Y axis, until you reach both legs. Just going to smooth that over with right click. You should have something of akin. Just going to scale that down a little bit. Now you notice that this leg isn't as far out as it should be. So I'm just going to move that across a little bit. So G. This one, it's not quite touching, so we're going to go S for scale. just to get it across there. Now, this is the fun part. So we have 1, 2, 3 pieces. So now we want to translate these 3 pieces to the back of the chair, otherwise the chair would fall over if we ever did sit on it. So we're going to get 1 piece here, 2 piece here, and 3 piece here. Press Shift whilst you're selecting all 3, and then we're going to go Shift D. We're going to move it across to our second position. You notice that the legs aren't exactly splayed in the right position here. So G, just to move that back in. And then we're going to go R, rotate 180 on the Z axis. Now you notice that the legs are splayed this way. The legs aren't quite splayed this way. So with all 3 selected, we're going to go rotate again. And we're going to go onto the green axis, which is the Y. And then we're going to type in 10 on that one. And just move the legs over. So now we have a splay this way. And we also have a splay this way. So then we're going to do the same with this one. So this, in theory, if I do remember, is -10. So we want to rotate again. But we're going to go green this time with Y. And then we want to put 10. So you notice that it rotates the wrong way. So what you want to do is press minus and then you put 10. And it will go to the correct angle. And then just move back to where you need it to be. Now, as regards to your seat, you can put your seat on any side of these, depending on how you want your stool. But that is a basic stool. Now, if you wanted to make a chair from this, you could add another cube, or you could do a clever trick, and I will teach you. So we'll delete this cube. We'll take this, which would be the seat, Shift D. Then we can rotate 90. And then we press G just to move everything up. Scale this. You could have this. Alright. So most chairs lean slightly backwards. Let's make some adjustments there. So that's your back to your chair. This could be one of those like kind of fancy church chairs that they have where you kind of sit, but they have those backs that don't quite give you the lumbar support that you need, but you know, you sit there regardless. So then you take the first legs that you made, all 3 of them, Shift D, duplicate, and we just place them at the back here. That's one way to do it, and you can scale that down so the design kind of matches what you would like to do, I guess. You could alter the rotation of these as well. Let me see. So yeah, as long as they fit into the chair, they have the same kind of style as well. And there we have it. One basic chair, just for you to come and sit on if you'd like. Yes. So save that as your chair project inside of your Blender folder, newly made. Saving it in the Blender folder is going to help with your organisation in the end. I please implore you to do that, because otherwise you're going to lose your projects. Right, so on to the next tutorial.